It really works.
Today, I'm going to show you how to use dual forms with acrylic powder on your dominant hand so that no more messy, funky sets when you got to do your other hand. So that is what we're doing today. First things first, we got to prep all of your nails. So you got to go in, you got to push all your cuticles. You've got to take away the shine on all, I already did this one, on all of your nails. Take off the shine very lightly, take off the shine, very gently push back all your cuticles. And then once you got all 5 fingers done, we're ready to go. After you got all your nail prep done, you got to take a nail cleanser wipe or an alcohol wipe and just get all of that dust off of each one of the nails. And then you will be ready to go. So our next step is you want to open up your dual forms and you want to find the perfect fit for all of your fingers before you start. This is very important. So I have fat thumbs and I know I take size 0. So I just find the sizes that fit and I lay them all out in a row to save me time for later. Now I'm just doing a tutorial, so I'm not doing all of my fingers. So I'm just going to find a tip for this one. But what's also very important when doing the pop-off method with acrylic is you want to make sure you have dual forms that has these little tabs. It'll make it so much easier at the end when you're trying to pop them off the nails. If you have ones with these tabs, these will literally just pop right off and you'll have perfect nails. So I'm going to size up my tips and get everything ready. Okay, once you got all your nails propped, you got all your dual forms ready to go and lined up, you're going to be ready to go. Now, my nails are shiny right now because I'm going to do the pop-off method. I don't want mine to stay on for long. You do not want your nails to be shiny. You want to make sure you do your regular nail prep like you would if you were going to do a full set of regular acrylic nails. Now, right before you start each nail, you do want to go in with your dehydrator, let that dry for 60 seconds, and then go in with your primer or your bonder, just like you normally would. Okay, once you have all that set up, we're ready to go. And you are just going to fill this dual form up with acrylic like you would if you were using polygel. You don't want it to be super thick, but you do want to make sure you have a nice even layer sidewall to sidewall to make sure that the edges aren't thin or jagged or funky. So I am going to show you how I do it. I'm going to use my Moravan powder because I love Moravan. And it's really easy. You're just going to pick up a regular old bead. And it's okay if it starts to dry because at the very end, we're going to go and do a thin layer of acrylic and then we're going to slap it on real fast at the end. So it's okay if it starts to dry while you're doing this and you just want to do a nice even layer sidewall to sidewall of your favorite acrylic. And you can add as many beads as you want. You just got to make sure it's full, straight side to side. You can use as many beads as you need. You don't need to rush. You don't need to worry. You can always just add another bead. Now, it's important to, at the top, to make sure that it's not too thin. Now, I am working a little wet because I'm in my basement and it's really, really hot down here. So I have to kind of overcompensate for the heat. Otherwise, the beads dry out real fast. But you want to make sure that the top isn't too thin. The cuticle area right now, you don't need to worry about because we're going to go in at the end and add another thin layer to the cuticle when we're about to pop this on. So you just want to make sure you got a nice even layer side to side. You want to make sure you got a nice, even, free edge because the nicer you make it in this little form, the less filing or cleanup you're going to need to do when you pop that dual form off at the end. I was absolutely amazed when I tried this last night and it actually worked. I was not expecting it to work and I was just utterly shocked and amazed when it worked so nice and easy and fast. The ones I were doing last night weren't really perfect because it was the first time I was trying it. But I'm expecting these ones to be pretty nice looking since I kind of got the hang of it now. So you can see I've got it. A nice even layer, sidewall to sidewall. You want to check from all angles to make sure that there's none missing because the edge you see right here of the acrylic is going to be what the edge of your nail looks like, what the side of the nail looks like. So you got to kind of balance between not making it too thick, but also making sure that you have a nice, sharp, crisp shape to it. So now this is the last bead I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slap on another bead of acrylic. And then while it's still super wet, I'm going to flip it over and stick it to my nail. So here we go. Here's the last bead. I want it to be a little wetter. And I am just going to slap that on. I'm going to smooth it out a little. All right. And I am going to flip this over and just stick it to my nail. Now, you don't want to do it too hard. You don't want to smush it on there so that the acrylic starts splurting out the sizes. You just want to put it on there with some pressure. Now, the problem with this versus the polygel is the acrylic has a long drying time. So you got to make sure you're comfortable so that way you can really hold this on here for at least 1 minute. You want to make sure you're holding on to it with good pressure for at least a minute to get that acrylic to set and to catch onto your nail. Now, since I'm doing the pop off method, this nail very well might just pop right off, which I'm hoping it won't, because I did 5 of these last night during a live to show everybody how it works. And because I had the clear top coat and cuticle oil on my nails to do the pop off method, I was having a problem where these acrylic nails were not wanting to stick to my real nails. So if that happens, I'm going to have to go buff off the shine and do it without the pop off method. But it should work. And I'm nearing about a minute here. And you can see it's still a little wet. Now, how long does acrylic usually take to set? It takes a lot longer than 1 minute. So you do not want to try to pop this off right away. Like, you need to let that acrylic dry and harden. Now, last night when I did this, I was sticking it into my nail lamp. I know nail lamps do not help acrylic cure or harden, but the nail lamp did seem to speed up the drying process just a little bit. So you don't want to let go, and you don't want to try to pop it off too soon. I am going to stick this in my nail lamp for about 2 minutes, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to pop these off, and I'll show you how perfect of an acrylic nail you're going to have. Okay, so it's been about 6 minutes. I've really let this dry onto my finger. Now, I'm going about it this way because I am just doing the one for a tutorial. Now, when you're doing a full set of these, obviously you're not going to sit around and wait 6 minutes for each one of them to dry. You're going to put this on, you're going to hold it down tight for like a minute, and then you're going to grab your dehydrator and primer, and you're going to move on to the next nail, so that by the time you're done with this nail, and this nail, and this nail, you know, these first couple ones are going to be dry, and they're going to be ready. So I am just doing it this way because I'm only doing the one nail for a tutorial purpose. Now, you got to check it too. Check for the click to make sure that it's fully dry. Well, I don't got nails on this finger, so you can't really hear the click. So you hear that. You hear the click. You know that's done. So here is the moment of truth. It should just pop right off. You just wiggle, and look, it came right off. And you have a perfect acrylic nail, perfectly shaped. All you got to do is clean up the sides. This is a game changer for people like me who struggle to do their dominant hands. Like, I can't believe how easily these dual forms pop off the acrylic. I had thought that that was going to be the major problem in the whole process. That, you know, you would get it all set up, and I thought at the end, the acrylic was going to stick to the form and that I was not going to be able to pop the forms off. And you just saw how easy that form just popped right off. Like, I have used dual forms with hard gel, with soft gel, with builder gel, with solid gel, and with poly gel, and never with any gels has the dual form just popped right off like that. Like, it's just amazing. And I had to share with you guys how easy it is. Now, yeah, you're going to need a little cleanup, but look at that perfectly shaped nail. It's like perfect. It's amazing. Now, the back is a little... This is why you don't want to make it too thick in the form, because you will get a little bit of mess. But again, that is what your hand files are for, and your e-file. You're going to take your e-file, and you're just going to get rid of all that crap. You're going to take your hand file, and this stuff is going to be so easy. It's so easy. It's so fast and easy. I mean, this stuff right here, and you know what? It's thin, so it peels right off anyways. Now, obviously, it's not going to look perfect your first time. The ones that I did last night for my first time were not pretty. Like, the sides were all pitted. They were not a nice, clean edge. So you just got to practice with it a little bit. And that's with any nail product. Any nail product, you just got to practice with it a couple times before you get it to work. And yeah, obviously, I'm going to have to go in and clean this up. But, I mean, I am so happy with that, because if I had gone and just glued tips on and tried to do a regular acrylic set on this hand, which is my dominant hand, like, it would not look like that. It would be a funky, misshapen mess. So here is an absolute game changer for people who struggle to do their dominant hand. So thanks for watching, and thanks for hanging out with me. Go try this nail hack. It works.